So it started way, way back with this house. And this is kind of the evolution. So this would be the monkey on the evolution scale. So not like a super pretty house, but here's what happened with this house. I bought this house probably in the early to mid 2000s, and I bought this property in what's called a subject to. Now those of you that don't know what subject to purchasing is, it's basically I purchased the property subject to the existing mortgage, and I basically took over the payments on the mortgage. Now the problem with that technique is you can't do it anymore for properties that are in foreclosure. The Florida legislature, in their infinite wisdom, came up with a new law in 2008 as part of the Foreclosure Rescue Act and said that you can no longer take over the payments on someone's mortgage. You either have to assume the mortgage legally, or you have to pay the mortgage off. And if you don't do it, now you can have a problem with the Attorney General's office, and I don't want any problems like that. So, but back then, this was before that law passed. This was pre-2008. So I bought the property subject to the existing financing, and I basically paid the guy some money, and I took over his mortgage payments. And I started paying and paying and paying. Well then, one day I found out that the guy that I bought this from died. And not too long after that, the market, everyone knows what happened in around 2006, 2007, 2008. The market started going down, down, down. And it went down so much that the property was now worth far less than he owed on the mortgage. Well, one thing about dead people is they usually don't care too much about their credit. So I normally wouldn't do this if I take over someone's payment back in the day. I made the payments. But when the guy dies and is no longer there, doesn't care about his credit, and the property's upside down, I said, you know what, I'm just going to stop paying the mortgage payment, and I'm going to just rent it, collect the rents, and I'm going to continue to collect the rents until the foreclosure takes place. So I stuck a tenant in there, I stopped paying the mortgage, I stopped paying the taxes, and I stopped paying the insurance, and I waited for the foreclosure. And then I waited again for the foreclosure. And I waited for the foreclosure. And they didn't foreclose. And I sat there for years, and I'm just collecting payments, and the mortgage company doesn't foreclose. Finally, several years later, they start to foreclose, and I do foreclosure defense, so I got to be pretty good at foreclosure defense, so I figured, I'm going to defend the foreclosure and kind of stall things out a little bit. And that's kind of where this idea came to me, because what ended up